Let the bidding commence. Scotty is very hotty in the transfer market as Fulham come straight back in with Napoli almost there. Fulham's gazump time on Scott. We're going to talk about what's happening with that deal, updates from Romano and a few other sources that came out last night on the Scotsman. We're also talking updates on Ugarte, a bid in officially for Berge as well. Pellistri price set. We're going to talk about that. We've got loads to get through on this Monday morning. 12 days left to think now of the transfer window. Things are definitely hotting up there. Manchester United set to make significant moves over the coming days. This week could be huge for Manchester United. Get your comments in the live section if you are live with us right now. Please do give the video a like. You know the score. It has to be 1,000 and more likes on this video, on this stream this morning, guys. Please do hit that subscribe button as well to make sure that you're missing out on nothing. Again, 50% of you are not subscribed who are watching. It's a simple click of a button and a bell notification, and then you won't have to wait around or try and find anything United news-wise, because I got you covered, guys. Monday morning show, we go through everything quickfire that we have, well, that's happened overnight anyway, and everything that's going on with Manchester United, what we can expect for the day ahead, and pretty much now with all of the other signings done, everything out of the way, the build-up to the opening day of the season out of the way, full week preparation ahead of Brighton now. We're expecting a lot of action this week from Manchester United off the field. There is significant movement in the out department as well as the in, and we are going to go through it all right now, starting with Scott Mctominay. He is the one that is getting the headlines right now. He is hot property. He is Scotty too hotty right now. He's living up to his name on the pitch right now after all them goals last season. They've put him right on the market. 100% profit for Manchester United on this. And now it looks like United have got a bidding war on their hands. We spoke yesterday in detail about Scott and how he has put himself out there for Manchester United for this to happen in this deal. So no matter who comes in, and this is what we were saying yesterday about Scott being a full-on professional, being that player that a lot of players are not in modern-day football, helping the football club out, has the club's interest at heart, and is, like I said, he's the lowest paid player in that first team, really, for me, in terms of significant players. He's got 1 year left after this year on his contract. He has agreed terms with Napoli. We know this yesterday. He has also agreed terms with Galatasaray. He's agreed terms with Fulham as well. So whenever this deal happens and United make, when they make it happen, they accept a bid from whoever it may be, bang, it's done. No messing around, no waiting around, and that's really down to United, Ineos, and a big man, and the man himself, Scott Mctominay, really. And you have to praise him for that. That's what we spoke about yesterday. Things have moved on from that. We know that he's spoken to Antonio Conte and given him priority. There is significant movement regarding that deal from Napoli. I'll go into that in a minute, but from the Fulham side of things, Sky broke out the news yesterday, and a few other people have come onto the scene with updates as well regarding this one. I'm just going to go through what has actually been said. The Mail this morning is saying Fulham have revived talks with Manchester United for Scott McTominay, but face competition from Napoli, who prefer a loan deal. The loan deal is not happening, and that's just a story made up just to fill some column pages. So don't even worry about the loan actually being on the agenda. It is not and will not be a part of any deal. Romano says Napoli doesn't sell. If Napoli doesn't sell Victor Osimhen, the signing of Scott McTominay will be complicated. Not so much of an issue for United right now, with Fulham coming back in for him as well. Fulham's interest in Scott McTominay is still very strong, and they are still in the conversation, says Fabrizio Romano. So everything with that is moving along nicely. Just a bit more on this one from Romano, which was from yesterday, just to keep you guys up. Scott McTominay could leave before the end of the transfer window. Man United wants 30 million. Napoli director was in England to discuss the deal. Napoli was thinking of a loan with a buy option clause, but United have been clear. Permanent transfer is the only way Scott McTominay leaves the football club. So rest assured, Manchester United I've got the club's interest at heart here. It won't be a quick-fire loan deal for Scott McTominay. It will be a full sale. We know this for certain right now. And it has also been said that Fulham, who were waiting for Manchester United to drop their price, so they were sort of like doing what we're doing with Ugarte and PSG, waiting around, not making any significant move, making it go a bit cold, and then maybe trying to force United into making an extra move, i.e., drop the price for Scott McTominay. That is not happening. Manchester United are in full conversation with Napoli right now. So Fulham are reportedly now ready to up their bid. So they're the ones that are going to be making the move. They've seen what's happening with Napoli. They know that Antonio Conte is involved. Obviously, the club are trying to back the manager there over in Italy. With having to sell Osimhen, they want to bring in players that he knows he's going to be able to work with over in Italy. And now Fulham have been forced into action themselves. They are willing to go to 25 million, the reports are saying. And this will happen, and happen very, very quickly, because it is very close with Napoli. And this week, like I said at the top of the show, is very, very significant, because Manchester United, after talking to Napoli and clearing it with Scott McTominay, have left Napoli to do their business. Now, Romano has also come out this morning and said that Romelu Lukaku to Napoli is very close and will be done in the next couple of days. So that's part of the deal with Chelsea and Osimhen. Obviously, we've seen Chelsea lose yesterday badly to City, not being able to hit a cow's ass with a banjo. Ridiculous up front, and Jackson really is just not the player for them. Desperate, fans crying out for a striker, fans crying out for any sort of structure at Chelsea. Pressure on them, forcing them probably into making Osimhen happen a lot sooner as well. So Lukaku almost done. That is part of the Osimhen deal. When Osimhen goes, Napoli will have the money that they need. They are buying other players as well, Napoli, but that will give them that room to actually make the Scott McTominay payment, make the Scott McTominay deal happen. And that is everything from Napoli's side and Fulham's side with Scott. Like we've said yesterday and all the days before, everything else is in place for this deal right now. This has been going on for a number of weeks now with Scott, and him being completely open and completely happy as long as the club are with any deal and any move away, as long as it fits both parties, himself obviously and the club. And like we've just said, Scott McTominay is already in agreement with Napoli. Personal terms are fully agreed. Personal terms not a problem with Fulham either. Even Galatasaray. It's not been an issue from Scott's side throughout the whole process. And this is what's given Manchester United the freedom to take their time with this deal and not have to buckle at the first chance that Fulham try and throw upon them, or any club throw. They know they've got masses of interest for Scott. And in this situation falls right into the hands of Ineos and how they've progressed this window along and got the better deals for the football club. And footballing decisions have been made with the club and performing on the pitch in mind. Manchester United get full 100% profit. And again, a lot of people still don't understand the financial fair play and PSR rule when it comes to 100% profit. It's like double, basically, in getting all of that money in and balancing the books. It goes a long way. And this is why Manchester United, when we were so far over the financial fair play threshold at the start of this window, are now clawing it back after the 100% sales of academy players Camberwell, Mason Greenwood, and now looks very close to be getting Scott McTominay over the line as well. So that is the bonus of Scott leaving and giving Manchester United an awful lot of freedom within the transfer window to go out and make maybe a couple more signings. We discussed yesterday, and I asked the question in the comment section, would you take a striker and a midfielder or two midfielders right now? If what's available, with what's available is out there, which way would you go? And that's if Scott McTominay was sold. So we know he's definitely going. We know he's happy to go. The club are looking to sell him. We've got plenty of suitors for him. How do United make that money work? How do they actually get, well, they know how to get the money in, but how do we make it work in terms of the players we're bringing in? Is it a forward that's needed more, or do we need them two midfielders? The majority of people are still going down the two midfielder role, but there are people that are concerned about that striker option for United. With possibly Jadon Sancho going on loan or whatever happening there, we're obviously moving on Hannibal as well. Facundo Pellistri on the other side of things as well. He is now, as we discussed last night, very close to Panathinaikos after the reports from Fabrizio Romano. The Mail this morning are reporting that Manchester United are holding out for a 8.5 million fee. We discussed that last night. I think that was the mark that we all thought, between 8 and 10 million for Facundo. Unfortunately, not recouping any of the original sale. He is worth more, but not worth more when you've only got 1 year left on your contract. So anyone wondering why we're only getting these amounts for certain players, it's simply because he hasn't had enough game time, so United cannot really argue the point of him being a key first-team player and rising the value that way. He's on his last year of his contract, and he can speak to people in January and go for free the following summer. So United are stuck and are taking what they possibly can for Facundo Pellistri. But if I'm being honest, I feel like Facundo Pellistri, $8.5 million, I think that's not a bad deal. If United get a sell-on clause in there as well, it's like really just making best of a poor situation. Coming in, taking over the old management and just making things work. But maybe you can't make the money that you need instantly. Maybe it's over a longer period. A la Greenwood, Cambuala, Pellistri, all of these sell-on clauses and everything like that. We have over 1,500 people in the room. Sorry, guys. Thank you so much. Only 10 minutes into the video. Amazing numbers. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Please do give the video a like, though. 1,500 people and only 200 likes. That's not equating. It's not. That should be at least over 400, guys, surely. Please do give that video a like. Smash that like button, guys. Let's get them numbers catching up to the amount of people that are actually in here as well. I can see you all having your comments as well. I am going to have a little bit of a section right at the end of this video for you guys and your comments. So stay tuned, stay plugged in. Get your comments coming in. Have your conversations with everybody in the live chat as well. As we move forward onto the next bit of news, which is Sander Berge. Now, Manchester United, as you can see at the bottom of your screen there, Manchester United apparently now, according to them, have made full contact with Burnley, and they have made an official bid. Now, the bid apparently, as I read it out here, Manchester United have made an offer for Sander Berge, but are short of Burnley's 30 million valuation. While Ugarte is favoured, PSG is favoured. PSG still not dropping their asking price. That's come from Simon Jones from the Daily Mail, and Berge bid in for me says everything you need to know about Ineos right now. So Manchester United have officially got bids in on 2 more midfielders. And we have got bids in on, well, we've got 2, if you could say Pellistri and Mctominay are both midfielders / forwards. And two midfielders forwards going out of the football club. So business is moving along nicely. And I think United have left themselves plenty of time. We know, and we've spoken about where the situation is with Ugarte. We don't really need to go any more detail on that, apart from Fabrizio Romano saying there is still no breakthrough. Jorge Mendes is working overtime, and we know what that means. We've discussed that as well with what he has done already for Manchester United in this transfer window and what agents are doing for United this window. It's important to remember that Jorge Mendes is going to play a massive role in getting this deal over the line for United. And I think it will be because of the agent that this happens, because I still don't think that PSG are going to budge. And this is why the reports and the news coming out about Sander Berge. Now, this may just be United leaking this news out. They're saying there's a bid out there for Sander Berge. I fully feel like this is like, right, let's just put this out there now so we can start moving PSG along. Stop playing at it. Stop acting the fool. You're not going to get the price you want for Manuel Ugarte. So let's drop that price. Otherwise, other targets are coming in. That's why we get the news about Sander Berge coming out that United have actually made a bid for him now. It's still not near what Burnley want for him. I don't think Burnley are going to play as hardball as what PSG are. I don't think Burnley are in a position to, because let's be honest, they're in the Championship. You've got a player that you're not playing and you need to move him on before the window ends. So you could maybe actually reinvest that money back into Burnley's squad. So, yeah, I look at it and go, well, United, yes, they do want Sander Berge. They still have priority in Manuel Ugarte. I think this is just a ploy. I think this is just their plan to actually get the ball moving with PSG and Sander Berge a little bit more. I feel like Manchester United will get Ugarte still. And I do firmly believe, like, if you think, like, if United get 28 million... Sorry, if United get 25 million for Scott and Pellistri goes for the 8.5 million, so you're looking at over 33 million there for them two alone. That pretty much is enough to go out and buy Sander Berge. That's enough to go out and buy Ugarte, I think, with what money we've got aside already, if we wanted to overbid, but we're not going to. So that's the beauty that we've got with this situation right now. That's the beauty we've got with where we're at with these bids and everything that's going on in the market with the both of these midfielders. So when you look at everything that's happening with Ugarte right now. When you look at where we're at with Sander Berge, I think United are comfortable if we get both of them. I think we're comfortable if we get one of them or either one of them. And that's why they are so relaxed in this situation right now. When we're talking about the 33 million now that we could be getting for Scott McTominay and Facundo Pellistri, you could nearly add that up to 40 million if we sold Christian Eriksen. Hannibal Mejbri as well still. And obviously we are waiting for someone to officially come in and take Victor Lindelof away. And that would then send United upwards close to like another 50 million made. And really pushing Manchester United towards big heights when it comes to what players we've sold in this window. I think this will be an actual record window for Manchester United in terms of player sales. Well, definitely post Sir Alex Ferguson anyway, but just shows you how significant Ineos coming in and what they've got to work on and how they've got to work on everything, how important it has been to actually have the right people in place. United are, I feel, a different outfit right now in the transfer market. And again, like every time I see some news, I just feel confident that it's going to happen. I feel confident that United are going to get what they need to get done. And I'm not really stressed about any of the situations at all. I think we've got our other business done and out of the way nice and early. And everything that's happening right now is really going where we wanted it to go. The Scott McTominay situation. For anyone who is just joining us right now, we'll just quickly run over everything that we've talked about already in the first 15 minutes, which is that Fulham are backing for Scott McTominay. The agreement with Napoli is in place. And this has forced Fulham to come back to the table and bid again. Where they wanted United to drop their bid for Scott, it's not happened. And now Napoli are in. Fulham have been forced into moving forward. And it's now reported that they will come closer to their asking price. Romano is saying 30 million. I don't think it's going to be that. I think United will come to the table at 25. Whether or not that bid is going to go a little bit higher now that there's two clubs involved, this is where United and Ineos, and having Ineos in place really helps United because if there is multiple bidders, which we know there now is, who definitely want Scott, then United now can maybe get a little bit more for Scott McTominay. 8.5 million is the price for Facundo Pellistri. That deal is very close according to Romano. Daily Mail have also reported that this morning, Simon Jones, that Manchester United are in advanced talks now with Panathinaikos over the next few days. This week, Facundo Pellistri will be leaving Manchester United. That's well up over 30 million for both of them players. Manchester United have reportedly, according to the Daily Mail, also made their first bid official on Sander Berge as well. I described it as them trying to force the issue with PSG. I'm not saying that they haven't put a bid in. I just feel like United are being clever, and news is coming out that Berge is actually Manchester United target, and they've actually bid for him and are willing to walk away from Ugarte. I just think it's a game, and I think they're playing it very, very well. So where the bid, I think you know what, there's genuine interest in Sander Berge. I'm not saying there isn't, but I wouldn't necessarily go and say that the news coming out this morning about the bid officially being in is a definite. I think it's more like, I think Manchester United are just putting it out there so PSG and their stubborn asses get into action and start moving in a realistic way, because you are not going to get 51 million for Manuel Ugarte when there's only one club bidding for him, or there's only one club that he wants to go to, and they do need to sell. So, yeah, let's see. This week is going to be crucial. Again, like we've said before, like, do United feel confident enough to actually get Ugarte over the line before deadline day? Because we talked yesterday, and don't count out what Plettenberg said yesterday regarding Ivan Toney and United coming in with a late bid. If we sell the players we need to sell, and say, for instance, it isn't Ugarte, and it's only Sander Berge at a cheaper price, and there is money left available, United may take advantage of that situation with Ivan Toney, but they will only come in on deadline day if the right offer is there. Heard anything about a buyback clause on Pellistri? That's You Got Raws with the super chat. Welcome as well, Jeffrey Wright, to the members club. Thank you for that, buddy. In terms of You Got Raws in the super chat, I just said it there. In terms of the buyback for Facundo Pellistri, I don't think there is. It's just a sell-on right now. I don't think United, if you're planning with Ten Hag for the foreseeable and long-term past that, then Facundo Pellistri was never, ever going to be that player. And I just look at it and go, now, I think the age he is, I don't think United would want to be bringing a player back Is he really going to tear it up in Greece? Is Greece going to really put him on the market for Manchester United? I'm not disrespecting it in any way there, but what I'm trying to say is I think United are looking at Facundo Pellistri as a player that's been here at the club for, nearly 4 years now, around Manchester United. He's not hit it off. He's good. I don't think he's given a chance. I don't think he'll get given a chance. So I don't think it's a point. They may put a buyback in, but the sell-on clause is 40 to 50%. So United really just looking at this as a financial move and making sure that they are, let's just say, they're making sure they're well off if anything does happen, if Facundo Pellistri moves on from Panathinaikos and Greece. Get your comments coming in now, guys. We're going into your comments section. Anything that you want to ask or get any more details on, I can find out for you, and let's bring it up and have a convo about it. Almac says, Zanderberg is okay at 15 million, but 30 million is laughable. To be honest, Al, every single price that every club has put out there right now is laughable. And United won't bid for it. United won't go for it. So I don't think we need to worry. I think we just got to look at this now and say, look, United are in a comfortable position. I don't think that Burnley are going to get what they want for him. United will. They'll maybe put some add-ons on if he hits certain heights and sort of sweeten it up. But there's no way that United are going to be bidding 30 million for Zanderberg. There's not a chance. Pellistri is only 23/24. Why the F would we want to play? Why the F would he want to play in Greece? Well, United are in control of this deal. That's why. I don't think it was his first choice. But when you've got no one else coming in for you, then United really, I don't feel, are going to push him. They want the best deal. If Panathinaikos are offering the best deal, then the club have taken charge of the situation and they've made this deal happen. It's up to him. Look, he needs just game time. He was doing okay in Spain, but I don't think the money's there. Greek Champions League team, bit more money, enough to buy him, gives him guaranteed game time every week. He may hit it off and then make it to Spain for a higher price, or Italy, or somewhere like that. But United have made it worth our while by putting on that sell-on clause. So it is what it is, isn't it, with Pellistri? Unfortunately, he just didn't get the opportunities and has never been able to show what he's got. David Meme says, I want quality players over Zanderberg. Berg screams cheapskate signing to me. Yeah, you're probably right. Barella won't want to leave Inter Milan. They're going for big names again. So-called big names that have never worked for United in the past. What is wrong with Zanderberg? Because he plays at Burnley and Sheffield United. All right, would you buy Zanderbergino? Does that sound better? Because it doesn't sound cheapskate to me. It sounds like proper transfer structure work to me. And I think it's a bit of an insult when you're actually saying that Zanderberg isn't a good player. We don't know if he's better than anyone because he's never had a chance to play at the top level. So let's give him that chance as long as the deal is right. And as long as United are getting the right price for him, or paying the right price, then that's how you've got to look at that deal, I feel. Look, I can understand a little bit about people looking at this as a cheaper option, but this is what we've been crying out for years. Like structure and not going out and getting these big name players and overspending. Look, I love what we did with Branthwaite. I love what's happened to Everton on the opening day of the season. And it just teaches them, you know what, that there is exactly what Manchester United really needed to happen, I feel. And don't get me wrong, I don't think Everton are going to let Branthwaite go. I don't think we need another defender in right now. Not unless you sell both Lindelof and Maguire, and that's not going to happen. So, really, United could have spent 70 million on a defender from Everton who probably wasn't worth 70 million. He wasn't. Instead, we've got two other defenders not too far away from that price. When you look at it, upfront fees are just over 75 million for Euro and De Ligt. Yes, it's worth more with add-ons and everything like that. But when you look at the deals that we've done, instead of buying a 21-year-old, we've bought a 25-year-old and an 18-year-old. Two players instead of going for that one, because we wouldn't have been able to get either Euro or De Ligt if we'd have gone and bought Branthwaite. So let's look at it that way. Like when we're buying signings and they look cheap, maybe it's the right thing. Maybe it is the right way to go about it. We have over 2,000 in the room with us. Thank you guys for joining us on the morning video. All the updates are in. We're getting your comments in now, guys. Let's get them likes up as well. Let's get over 600 while we're live, guys. We've got a little bit of time left to go. Please make sure you are subscribing as well. Make sure that you are not missing out on any United news and content. It is free content, guys, so please do subscribe and make sure you do hit the like. Everything is just given to you on a plate with United news. We love it, don't we? We love the morning show. Let's get into some more of your comments. Mark is in with a super chat, first of all, and says, players like Vidic, Evra were all unheard of. Exactly, very good points. No one moaned about them. And they had shocking starts to their United careers as well. I think you need to remember that. Vidic and Evra looked completely like they were out of their depth when they first arrived at the club. So look what happens when you've got the right structure in place, the right coaching setup, which I think we have got now. Then these unknown players, it's like Xerxes. No one knew about Xerxes. Like, he had a good season for Bologna, and they scraped into the Champions League through the coalition, and that's it. Like, yeah, a player that was forgotten about from Bayern Munich and their youth academy, now at Bologna. You could say the same thing for him. Like, honestly, you've got plenty of players here that are coming to United that have just had their breakthrough season. Yoro, Xerxes, you could say that. Like the two Bayern Munich lads, Mazraoui and De Ligt, are a bit more well-known. So when you're arguing the point about a cheapskate buy for Xander Berge, and you need to get more well-known players, like Yoro and Xerxes have only had one season, really. Yeah, they've come through and developed, but they are only really hitting the headlines right now because of their big seasons last season. So I feel like it is, again, it's people looking at it with this sort of Galactico glasses on again, like this isn't a signing for Manchester United, we're bigger than this. Well, how about we actually make the player instead of trying to buy the ready-made fast fix player? This is what we used to do. Pellistri is decent. I like him. Reminds me of an old-fashioned winger. I've just never noticed Berge whenever we played against Burnley. Look, Burnley were a goal of the month / goal of the season finish from Bruno Fernandes away from getting a point off us in the first game we played against him, which he played a key role in. And let's not forget, they played us off the park at Old Trafford as well. So we managed to score 2 goals past them. And they were unlucky not to take at least 2 points from Manchester United over the 2 games last season. And when the system works and when a player is actually fitted into a system, you tend not to notice certain players as much. But when a player's doing his role, I think I don't think it's necessarily stands out that much. He's just one of them unsung players that nobody notices because he just gets on with what he does. He slots into a system well and keeps it simple. And I think United will go a mile if we bring in more players like that. Ten Hag is a system-type manager. He needs to have players that can do certain individual roles and have certain characteristics to handle pressures within what he wants to implement on the pitch. And I think that's why we're looking at players like that. Barella almost went to Newcastle last year for 50 million. We should have got him instead of Mount last year. It's not Ineos and different regime. I'm not surprised. You got Rosberg is £30 million. Ugarte will be over £40 million. Can they afford both? I don't think we'll pay £30 million for Berge. And that's why we can afford him if we sell Scott McTominay. Look, Pellistri and McTominay added to the funds that we've already got available is enough for Man United to bring 2 more players in and then loan a left back in as well. So again, I'm still sticking to possibly 3 more players coming through the door for Manchester United. Andrew says, last season, most teams gave us a good game, last including Sheffield United. Yep, they did. But no one played us off the park. I thought it was just United being crap, really, and everyone having a chance against us. Like I said, I was impressed with Burnley when they came to Old Trafford. They definitely gave us a hard game, and we were lucky in that game as well. We will not pay 30 million for Berge. Stop believing stuff. We will be low 20s by next year. We'll buy a 6 and Kaz goes. Berge, good squad player, says Sean. Get that? I do. United won't overpay for Berge, and he will fit into a squad rotation system eventually. We will be buying another midfielder, I think, next season as well, because I do think, like the comment says there, Casemiro will be moved on. Yeah. Kaz says United want 10 million for Pellistri. I think they'll get 10 million with the add-ons. I think that's what will happen. Just say it now. What's we got? Ugarte, Rabiot, and a striker. Like, Rabiot's gone nowhere yet, has he? Like, we keep forgetting about. Well, we don't, but he's there in conversation. But you've got to remember, like, Rabiot could actually pop onto the scene again in these last few days of the transfer window. He's not signed for anyone. I mean, he's a free agent. I don't think... I'm trying to remember. With the rule, I don't think anyone needs to actually get Rabiot in before deadline day because he's a free agent. So I think he can sign at any point because he's not going to cost anything. So free agents, I don't think, fall within the transfer window. Interesting. Kadoglu hasn't signed for Brighton yet, by the way. That deal's not done. There's a lot that can happen over the space of this next 10 days, a week and a half before this window shuts. And I think we just need to be open-minded about how United are conducting business now. Yes, we've got top targets, but other targets that we probably don't know about are probably waiting in the wings as well. And I think that Manchester United they've just got themselves into a comfy position, I feel, where they're ready to go on anything if anything opens up. Like we were talking yesterday about Tony. Just concentrate on selling the players that we need to get out and then be fully ready to go for the players that we need to bring in. I think that's where United are at right now. How did we get over half an hour? That is your morning show, guys. Let's get them likes in before we finish. Please give the video a like on your way out. Let's get that over 600, guys, please. Fantastic stuff. 2,000 people watching for most of that video there. Absolutely love you guys. Please do hit the subscribe button, everyone. Make sure that you have your bell notification switched on as well for all updates on any videos that are dropping. They're going to be coming thick and fast over the next couple of weeks now, guys, with everything going on in the transfer market. So make sure that you are well and truly all set up and ready to go for any news that's coming. I got you covered here on Forever United TV. Again, mods, members, new members, super chats, everything that we've had so far. Thank you so much, guys. I will see you all at 12 o'clock with your midday update. Everyone, please have a fantastic morning. It's Monday morning, but things are hotting up in the transfer market now. Let's see what comes. I think we're probably going to get... I'm just going to say we're going to be absolutely run off our feet. So let's just go with that. I will see you all at 12 o'clock, everyone. Have a fantastic morning.